Today, I'm going to show you guys a ultra spicy infinite loop deck with the UlforceVeedramon Zero. Digimon fans, welcome back, and today we'll be showcasing a very different UlforceVeedramon deck video. As a matter of fact, this is going to be a UlforceVeedramon Zero, which focuses particularly on this card, and it actually came out as a promo from a box topper quite a while ago. This deck is super fun to play with the ultimate spicy infinite loop combo, and it basically lets you swing at your opponents non-stop forever. I do want to let you guys know that this really is just a fun deck, an idea that you guys can give it a try, and since BT12 Across Time is coming real soon, I just thought we should just have some fun content on the channel. Speaking of BT12, pre-release is coming up real soon, and that means we got tons of brand new deck profiles coming up. So if you guys are just as excited for the new set and can't wait to see all the new upcoming videos for BT12, then be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you will know as soon as those videos come live. Also, be sure to give this video a like because it really helps, and I greatly appreciate the support from all of you. Alright, so for the Digi-8 cards, we play 4 copies of the BT9 Pagumon along with the BT2 Pagumon. So both of these Pagumons are really important because the BT9 one is when attacking, you may trash one card from your hand to have this Digimon gain extra 1000 DP for the turn. It is actually very nice, and since it's a you may effect and not once per turn, is actually really important. Whereas a BT2 Pagumon is when attacking, trash the top card of your deck, which is also not once per turn and is also, again, very important. And ideally, once again, like I mentioned, I want to prioritize on DP, which we're going to talk about more why it's really crucial later on. But for now, this is the egg lineup, which is totally fine. Starting with our rookies, we have 4 copies of the Starter Deck 6 Gabumon. This is when attacking, inheritable, trigger, draw 1, and trash 1 card from your hand. Again, this is going to be really important because it's also not once per turn. And again, you're going to be racking up a lot of these inheritables over and over again with this particular card. This is the main rookie you always want to see, one to Digivolve your stack into to pull off those combos. Next, for the rest of the rookies, I just decided to go with more like draw power related stuff, and I just want to find more pieces, draw more cards as much as I can, which is why I have the 4 copies of Tapermon right here. On deletion, draw 1. This is always a really good early game card to play, Digimon to Digivolve, and just to push up and just to swing. So yeah, again, just to draw more cards. And then we have Labramon, which does pretty much very similar or exactly the same in terms of sort of like draw power and finding more cards with that whole entire concept. This one is on play, you trigger, draw 1, and then trash 1 card from your hand. So, you know, drawing and trashing is definitely one of your biggest priorities for this deck because you do want to add up as many cards as you can. Once again, drawing and trashing is really important for this deck, and you definitely want to rack up as many cards in your trash as possible and find pieces at the same time. I'm also super excited to announce a new feature on my channel where I launched my very first ever YouTube membership called the Avault Club. By joining, you will have access to exclusive perks and contents that regular viewers don't have. Perks include the Avault Club membership badge, and the best part is that you'll be able to see members-only community posts featuring my first draft deck profiles even before the video comes out. You will see more updates by me for every deck profile released and even updated deck lists and adjustments with all the lists. Your comments and questions will also have priority replies from me. So what are you guys waiting for? Click on the join button right now. Thank you all so much for the support, and I look forward to engaging with you guys. That's it for all of our rookies. Let's talk about our level 4s. We have this 4 copies of the Devidramon. This has Retaliation as its main effect, but again, for inheritable is when attacking, you may trash the top 2 cards of your deck. And once again, very important, not once per turn, so you definitely want to be building this in your stack. Otherwise, as your secondary level 4, you definitely want to be seeing this Garurumon right here from Starter Deck 6 as well. When attacking, not once per turn again, trigger, draw 1, and trash 1 card from your hand. Exactly the same as the Starter Deck Gabumon, so yeah, really good and important card. That's it for all of our level 4s. It may be a little bit unusual just to play 8, but really we don't need that many different kinds. We're really focusing on just one stack, so let's just jump into our level 5s. This one's super important. We have 4 copies of UlforceVeedramon. On play or when Digivolving, you get to play 1 purple or blue level 3 Digimon card from one of your purple or blue Digimon's Digivolution sources without paying its memory cost. We really use this effect. We don't really want to be using it as often because we do have to push out from raising and to utilize this effect. It does cost 4 to digivolve on top of level 4 purple or blue Digimon, but all of our level 4s are purple anyway, so it works very nicely. Its inheritable effect is that all turns once a turn, when you play a Digimon via an effect, you get to gain 1 memory back. It doesn't really necessarily need it for the loop combo in particular, but it does have its niche usages every now and then, which is kind of rare, but nice to have for sure. But the most important reason why we play this card in particular is because of it being blue and purple at the same time. Jumping ahead, this is going to help us bridge into our UlforceVeedramon Zero, which is going to be super crucial for us to play that purple base so that we can trash more cards, draw more cards, to feel for our UlforceVeedramon combo later on, because this guy particularly can digivolve into him, which is the main reason why that we have to play 4 copies of this one. Then for our secondary level 5s, we got 3 copies of Mephistomon. This one has just an on-play effect where you get to draw 2 and trash 2, with an inheritable of when attacking once per turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand to gain a memory. It does come up every now and then, not really the best secondary level 5 that we can play, but it's just one of the most decent ones that we can actually get into for the moment for the particular deck. Unfortunately, it is not blue and purple, so you can't digivolve it into an UlforceVeedramon or whatnot, so this is why it's the secondary one you want to see. That's it for our level 5s. Let's talk about our level 6s. We got the 4 copies of UlforceVeedramon Zero right here. When digivolving, you get to place 3 non-digi cards from your trash back to the bottom of your deck in any order to unsuspend this Digimon and one of your tamers. Also, his second effect is your turn once per turn. When a card is returned from your trash back to your deck, you get to gain a memory, effectively making him a 3 cost, which is actually very memory efficient and very nice. And this is the key boss Digimon that you always want to be seeing. You want to be drawing as many cards as possible to find this as your key piece. And yeah, that's really it for him. Next, we got some really cool, interesting level 6 purples that we actually play in this deck. The first one actually being Nidhogg. This one is that when you trash this card from your hand using one of your effects, you get to gain a memory. So this does come up every now and then, which can help you play more memory gaining effects, which is very nice because you do draw and trash quite a bit. Otherwise, you can alternatively digivolve into this as your level 6, because when digivolving, you can trash 1 card from your hand to delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So quite versatile for the deck, which definitely is nice for sure. And then last, for one other purple level 6 that we play, we have one Creepymon right here. This is very interesting as a one-off tech because it actually gives you as like a secondary access to another level 6 boss Digimon other than UlforceVeedramon if you can't find it, because again, you trash a lot of cards. It's actually very easy to sort of fulfill its condition to sort of mill your opponent out a little bit, but also you can play something back that's level 5 or lower, which is going to be very helpful in certain situations, which I'll talk a little bit more in the combo later on. That's it for all of our Digimon. Let's talk about our tamers. We got 3 copies of the BT11 Rina right here. This is actually a very crucial card for the deck. In order for you to pull off that loop combo, she has on play until the end of your opponent's turn one of your Digimon with Veedramon in its name or Veedramon gain blocker and evade. And all turns when one of your Digimon with Veedramon in its name becomes suspended, by suspending her, you get to activate its when digivolving effect. And it's going to have a lot of synergy and combo with the UlforceVeedramon Zero, and particularly with the second effect, which is why you want to play her. Also, her last effect is that your turn once returned, when one of your blue Digimon becomes unsuspended, you get to gain 1 memory back, which is also very memory efficient and nice. So the reason why I play 3 copies is because you do want to see her often enough. She is crucial for the loop combo, but you don't want to see her that often to the stage where you have to play 4 copies, because then she doesn't really give you any much value other than that. After like playtesting a little bit, this is why I decided to stay with 3 for her at the moment. Next, we have another Rina right here, the Order BT21. This one is your turn when you attack with a blue Digimon. You can suspend her to give that Digimon extra 1000 DP for the turn, which is going to be very nice. So I can buff up your UlforceVeedramon Zero especially. And also she is an on-play searcher, grabbing yourself a V in its name of Digimon card. So really, it's really using to search for your UlforceVeedramon Zero, which is why you gotta play this one. And a 2-of is definitely nice. And then we have one Kyo as our memory tamer. We don't necessarily need to have like a memory tamer for this deck, which is nice because there's actually a lot of various ways to gain memory and you're always building your stack safely, which is what you're trying to go for. But it's nice to have as like an extra blue tamer to be played, and it can give you a bit of momentum, which is nice because when you attack with a Digimon that has Jellymon in its name or is level 5 or higher, as long as it has 7 fewer cards in your hand, you get to draw 1. So yeah, it's kind of just a nice, really optional for your own preference. Then we have two analog use right here. Very efficient tamers just to search for more pieces. Again, especially trying to find our UlforceVeedramon and our UlforceVeedramon, particularly with this card. And trashing at the same time is just going to have a lot of synergy, really great. His secondary effect of when a level 5 or higher Digimon is deleted, with Digivolution Sources being able to suspend him to hatch an egg and gain the memory is not too bad, but you don't really want to be seeing that as often usually in this particular deck, because once you see your stack, you actually want it to survive and keep it on board. So we really mainly play it for its sort of first effect overall. That's it for all of our tamers. Let's talk about our options. For the purple options, first and foremost, we do have Calling from the Darkness. Just a really good card for 1 cost. You can always grab stuffed pieces back and whatever from the trash by deleting your own Digimon, which comes up every now and then, but it gives you the most value when you have no Digimon on board, because deleting a Digimon is not a requirement for you to grab 2 pieces back from your trash to your hand. So yeah, really cool card. Then we have 2 copies of Jack Raid. Definitely a really good card when you're racked up enough cards in your trash. You can play this very early on so you can gain some memory, and then you go into your combo plays later on, then you cycle the stuff back. So yeah, very fantastic card. And then for the blue side of things, because we play a handful of blue tamers and sort of blue Digimon in a way, we have enough to sort of fit some blue options, which help out very nicely in this deck. So 2 Hammer Sparks, exactly very similar to Jack Raid. What it does is nice to have. We got 1 blue memory boost for sort of searching. You don't really get to play this card in the early stages as most, unless you've established a blue tamer in your deck. But still a very decent card so that you can find the blue pieces that you need particularly, which is going to be important. And then, of course, last but not least, to round off for everything, we do have the 1 Ice Wall for the defensive mechanism card of the deck. Alright, that's it for the 50 card main deck. There isn't really any other cards I wanted to sort of introduce and show you guys to sort of add on to this deck really, but if you guys have any like suggestions or cool ideas, definitely let me know in the comments down below. So let's really get into the combos and sort of how you want to play to set up for this infinite loop essentially. So in the early stages of the game, of course, you're always going to be wanting to play like your analog use, your Rina to search. And what you're really trying to find is definitely your UlforceVeedramon Zero and as well as your UlforceVeedramon both at the same time. These are really your core important pieces overall. Of course, you're going to be hatching your egg, and ideally what you really want to be digivolving is the priority of your Gabumon, because it gives you that kind of inheritable. But if not, sometimes digivolving into your Tapermon or into your Labramon, more likely you want to be hard playing your Labramon instead to really help you cycle cards to draw and trash, and Tapermon helps you draw more cards. And again, it's just another method to find pieces as quickly as possible. And of course, with these guys, you can really just chip your opponent's security down to set up for the infinite loop, so that you don't really need to require to swing as much, but really up to you guys. You can digivolve further to continue dig pieces and whatnot. So the next step is digivolving into your level 4, whether being your Devidramon or your Garurumon. Either kind of works. Ideally, I think Devidramon suits the best because it can help you fulfill the condition a lot more easier, and this is when you digivolve into your UlforceVeedramon. Now there's 2 ways to sort of play about this. You can promote and digivolve into UlforceVeedramon and then put out a level 3, but you really don't want to be doing that in most cases, especially when you have Gabumon. If you had like a Labramon or Tapermon in your stack, you might be able to do it, but the other reason why I mainly don't want to do this is because it's very susceptible to being removed, and once your stack is removed, it's very hard to find your pieces once again, because your pieces are so incredibly niche and very specific. So I always like to digivolve in raising in particular. The other thing is then you can digivolve into UlforceVeedramon. There's also 2 ways to take about this. You can digivolve in raising or digivolve in the battle area. So once you have the UlforceVeedramon stack ready to go from your raising, you really want to be at 3 memory, whether you're playing some Jack Raids or Hammer Sparks or Blue Memory Boost, or if you have Kyo to somehow help you get the 3 memory is kind of crucial. But anyways, any of these methods will really help, which would be nice, because once you push it out, you have 3 memory. That means you can pay the 3 memory to play your Rina. Now your Rina is going to activate her on play effect, giving this UlforceVeedramon evade and blocker until the end of your opponent's turn, and it's going to be really crucial and important, because this is going to give you the unaffected by protection swing infinitely. Now, what's next is that you want to swing in with your UlforceVeedramon into your opponent's security or whatever, and you want to be activating all your inheritables. Now, the only one that you don't get to activate is UlforceVeedramon, because it doesn't do you anything. Again, like I mentioned in the entire course of the video, he really is just to bridge your purple into your blue, which is super important in order to get to this stage. Now, with your Devidramon and your Gabumon, you get to trash top 2 cards for your deck. Gabumon, draw 1, trash 1. And with Pagumon, if you have extra disposable cards from your hand, you always want to be pitching cards from your hand to give it extra 1000 DP for the turn. Now, because you put 3 cards in trash or 3 or more already, you get to then suspend Rina to activate UlforceVeedramon Zeros when Digivolving effect once again. So what it does is by putting 3 cards from your trash back to the bottom of your deck that are non-Digi Egg cards, you unsuspend both UlforceVeedramon and Rina at this particular moment. And you guys can see that both Digimon, Gabumon, and Pagumon, all these effects are not once per turn, which makes them so great alongside with Rina. Now, with UlforceVeedramon's secondary effect, you get to gain a memory because you did put cards back to the bottom of your deck, and because with Rina's once per turn effect, you get to gain that memory back right here as well because you unsuspended. So pretty nice that you get to like play more memory that way. But otherwise, again, you repeat this process over and over again. Make sure you swing first, trigger the trashing combos, and then you get to suspend your Rina, and then you get to unsuspend these guys by putting the 3 cards that you trash back to the bottom deck, and you repeat over and over and over again, which makes this infinite loop swing combo. And the even nicest thing is, remember that Rina gave this UlforceVeedramon Zero evade and blocker, mainly evade. So if you ever swing into something really big in security, or if you swing into sort of like an option like Gaia Force, you have the protection and you can suspend your UlforceVeedramon Zero to protect and evade from that. And because you've done that, you suspended something, you get to suspend Rina once again to activate UlforceVeedramon Zeros when Digivolving effect to put 3 things back from your trash to the bottom of your deck, and then you unsuspend again, and you repeat this over and over again once again. Now keep in mind, with the evade combo, you do require a little bit more cards than you regularly need in your trash, just because you're suspending your UlforceVeedramon to sort of like evade from the deletion. That means that you will need extra cards in your trash to sort of like fulfill those suspensions, because by suspending it, you're not trashing from these Digimons and Gabumons, so it's really for the attacking. But usually you do have enough cards in your trash when you get to that stage anyways, and this is basically the infinite loop combo, which is super insane and super crazy. Now, sometimes in other situations, you may not really see your UlforceVeedramon Zero. You can actually like go into Creepymon right here, which I really like as a tech, and as long as your opponent has like 2 or more Digimon board, you trash 4 cards at the top of your deck, and then you get to play like a level 5 back from your trash. And really nice because then you can play something like a UlforceVeedramon right here, and then you can next then go into UlforceVeedramon, which is again a little bit of suboptimal combo, but just another method to sort of fulfill that condition where you have UlforceVeedramon Zero on top of UlforceVeedramon, so then you can potentially pull off those combos. And then with Creepymon along together and the stack that way, again, you can trash more cards, and then by trashing, that will be your ammo to swing as much as you can. And yeah, you basically swing nonstop and you OTK your opponents potentially, and just really crazy wild combo, which is super fun, super insane, super cool when you do pull it off. That'll wrap up for the deck profile for today. If you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please give it a like. If you have any suggestions, recommendations, or questions, be sure to share it with everyone in the comments down below. Once again, BT12 content Digimon videos is coming real soon, so definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button right now, turn on that notification bell to stay tuned. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you in the next video, and it's Avault, signing out.